Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you the story of my thesis in 4 pictures. Picture number 1. It all begins a few years ago when the wife of a New South Wales senator was hit by a speeding mobility scooter and had to get a hip replacement. Now, this sparked a heated political debate about severely regulating the use of mobility scooters. But the thing is, these scooters, which are part of an almost billion-dollar market worldwide, help a lot of people feel independent and empowered in a way where most of us who kind of take our freedom of movement for granted can never really understand. So the question is, how do we preserve these benefits of mobility scooters, but also make them safe enough so that they don't go hitting any more politicians' wives? Well, my thesis hopes that the answer to this is in picture number 2. Ladies and gentlemen, meet Betsy, the self-driving mobility scooter, who, unlike those nasty politicians, doesn't want to take away your independence or your freedom. Instead, we envision Betsy to be more like a co-pilot who will step in only when she is needed to prevent horrible accidents from happening. Now, everyone here this evening has a pretty good sense of where they are right now, right? Or at least, I hope we do. But the thing is, an inanimate object like a scooter doesn't have this sense. So solving this problem of robot localization was the first step in getting Betsy to work. Because if a robot doesn't know where it is accurately, it can't make safe and intelligent navigation decisions. So how do big companies like Google and Tesla, who have fleets of self-driving cars, do this? They don't rely on GPS, because GPS sucks in big cities with tall buildings blocking out the sky. Instead, they use highly detailed 3D maps, which take a ton of resources to build and maintain, plus these very, very expensive sensors called LiDARs. The cheapest you can get is about $8,000. In comparison, a typical mobility scooter is about $2,000. So, picture number 3. We came up with our own affordable localization system that doesn't use heavy 3D maps, expensive LiDARs, or unreliable GPS. All good old Betsy needs is a bunch of cameras and very low computing power at almost 1/4 the cost of a typical LiDAR. And we did this by taking artificial neural networks, and we got Betsy to recognize and see things like trees and lampposts and the pavement. And then we fed that information to a modified version of a tried and tested algorithm that was used to take people to the moon in the Apollo missions. So whenever this whole PhD thing gets a little tough, I remind myself, if we got to the moon, I should be able to get Betsy to drive along a pavement. And perhaps make these scooters a little bit more safer, functional, and empowering. And as cheesy as it sounds, that's kind of why we get into engineering, right? Because we believe in the potential of technology to make a real difference. And I don't know about you guys, but when I get old, I want to live in a world where picture number 4 is a reality. Thank you.